I'm going to explain a few aspects of the divine principle, the teaching written by Myung. Before I start, let me mention that according to Moon's own words and according to my own understanding, the divine principle is not meant to be the foundation for another religion. It's a spiritual teaching which uses a lot of religious terms. It mentions religious figures like Jesus, Buddha, Confucius. But when it does that, its intention is to explain how these people have been actors in a divine providence directed at humans with the goal to liberate humankind from spiritual and material ignorance and elevate their standard to a level where they can experience God directly and become one with God, their Creator. According to Moon, this has been the ultimate goal of human history until today, and we are living in a time where this is actually happening. So let's just go to the first chapter of the divine principle, which deals with the nature of God and His intention, what God is like. Of course, we cannot describe God, we cannot describe anything by writing words on paper. But the divine principle simply lists a few basic characteristics of God which I find are useful in studying the source of all existence. So here's a diagram which is usually presented in lectures about the topic. The top three rows deal with inanimate matter, the bottom three deal with living things. Matter is classified into molecules, atoms, and subatomic particles, like proton and electron, for example. Of course, it's kind of raw. There are lots of relevant particles, and they're looking for more while we are speaking. There's certainly a lot to say about molecules, and when it comes to life, cells might be worth mentioning. But this table isn't meant to be exhaustive. It's not even about science. It's actually about meditation. The goal is to look at a wide range of existence and then relax, lean back, meditate, and try to come up with an idea what all these things might have in common. So let's do that with the lower three rows of the diagram, with life. Of course, there are many ways, many angles you can take to find out what the common aspects are. And of course, we made this slideshow with the divine principle in mind. Anyway, one dominant pattern that the divine principle sees here are the so-called dual essentialities, the dual characteristics of masculinity and femininity. So all objects in the universe exhibit these dual characteristics, and so the principle concludes that also the source of the universe, God, has masculine and feminine aspects. The source of the universe is both masculine and feminine. And there's one more. The next one is so obvious you'll hardly notice. The divine principle calls it the dual characteristics of internal character and external form. We can see things because they have some external aspect, some kind of body. But all these external aspects, they move in response to an invisible part. In the realm of inanimate matter, these are the laws of the gravitation, electromagnetism, strong and weak interaction, physics and chemistry, they tell us all about that. In the realm of the living, the divine principle uses the terms plant mind, animal mind, and human mind. The external parts resemble the internal aspects, like our mind is like our body is like a second mind, but the mind is in control, or at least it should be. Because of this observation, the divine principle assumes that also the source of all this, God, has both external and internal aspects. The external being energy, the internal being consciousness, reason, will, emotion, love. That's a personality. So according to the principle, the source of the universe is personal, a personal God. Now it may look like a stretch going from natural laws governing the movement or the behavior of electrons and molecules, atoms, that kind of stuff, to the source of the universe being personal. But then, is it such a stretch? I mean, where does our personality come from? Did it just evolve from the minds of protons and electrons? I mean, I know the drill. We can go back to animals, and they have instincts, they build nests, they have kind of an intellect, things like that. We are just like evolved animals, but I mean, we can't just go back halfway to monkeys and say there's this common ancestors because we're so an ancestor because we're so similar, or to fish, or bacteria, or Precambrian life forms. No, we have to go back all the way, and back then, at the beginning of the material universe, all there were electrons, positrons, neutrinos, antineutrinos, and lots of high-energy gamma photons. That was all there was at T0 or Big Bang time or whatever you want to call it. I mean, a lot of things are being said about this, and it's not an easy issue, but I think it's not entirely unreasonable, not unreasonable at all, to toss in the idea of a personal source, a personal God, and see where that is going to lead us. What now about God and humans? The principle says we are special. It makes a certain sense. We certainly messed up in grand ways. On the other hand, let's face it, we are also capable of real great stuff. And even though our religious landscape is quite messed up too, we are the only ones on earth looking for a God. According to the principle, we are the only ones who can do this. We are the only ones who can touch God. We are the only ones who can become one with God. But that's another movie. Thanks for listening. Please check back soon and have a nice day.